No, because they're aggressive and they're controlling and they want to run shit. And that's because that's the thing where, like, if you really look at their agenda, when they say the future is feminine, that's not inclusive. And they're all about, oh, make this more inclusive. It's like, no, let us in so we can take it over and then we'll push you down.
It's kind of good, though, that, those creeps got to take a break because I felt like cancel culture, they were kind of running out of people to cancel, As much as they wanted to make it seem, there really was a finite amount of people that took their dick out at work.
A well-known American comedian and actor has delivered a sharp, no-holds-barred critique of woke Hollywood, tackling issues ranging from body positivity to cancel culture. Unafraid of the backlash, he's speaking hard truths and making it clear. Cancel culture has spiraled out of control, becoming a parody of itself. Instead of backing down, he's ready to confront this new norm head-on, calling out its absurdity.
Last year, when they started to try and cancel, like, dead people. Remember that? All of a sudden, out of nowhere, like, John Wayne was trending. I'm like, what, they got some found footage? You got a new movie coming out that maybe they shelved? And all of a sudden, it was all these stupid-ass woke white people, right? Oh my God, did you see what John Wayne said in Playboy in 1971? This is a bunch of fucking white people, all up in arms about a dead white guy.
One of his most cutting points is how even the dead are being targeted by cancel culture. He recalls the surreal moment when John Wayne, a Hollywood legend born in 1907, was trending because of an old interview from the 1970s. The comedian mocks the idea of dragging a long dead person through the mud for something they said decades ago. They've canceled so many people, they're now digging up the dead, he jokes, underscoring how desperate cancel culture has become in its hunt for targets.
John Wayne was born in 1907. That's what the fuck he's gonna sound like. Then you got all these douchebags going like, that's not an excuse. It's like, yes it is. It absolutely is. You are of your time. Look at these young kids. Remember that for like a year and a half? They'd take a water bottle, they're all standing around, and one kid would flip it, and if it landed upright, they'd go, oh, oh, oh.
Applying modern moral standards to a person from a different era, that, to him, is the height of absurdity. But his critique isn't limited to the past. He highlights how cancel culture is relentless toward the living as well. He references Louis C.K., who faced severe backlash after allegations of sexual misconduct, only to be met with outrage when he attempted a comeback. The comedian points out that there's a fine line between holding someone accountable and ruining their life forever. He likens it to watching a friend in a fight. At some point, it's over. You've got them. Let them get up. His message is clear. Everyone deserves a chance for redemption, and dragging things out endlessly serves no one.
He comes back, he does comedy, and everybody gets pissed off.
Well, I don't think it was everybody. It was
a lot of people.
Yeah, some people got pissed off, and then a lot of people thought, like, he's had enough. Let him up off the mat. I always equate it to, like, I'd watch a buddy of mine get into a fight. I wanted him to win. But after a while, it was like, all right, it's over. You got him.
In a sharper turn, he takes aim at woke white women, whom he accuses of hijacking movements that were originally about racial equality and social justice. With his trademark sarcasm, he mocks their complaints about oppression while leading privileged lives, sipping on expensive lattes, and driving luxury SUVs. He ridicules how these women, who enjoy the privileges of being white and upper middle class, somehow position themselves as the primary victims of society's injustices. If you're sitting in the jacuzzi with me, what oppression are you talking about? He quips, cutting through their self-pity with brutal clarity.
People start yelling at you and then try to destroy your career just because you have a difference of opinion. Where if you're on the same page going, hey, this behavior is not correct and should be dealt with, and then you're disagreeing on type of punishment, length of punishment, or anything like that, and then it just becomes like this thing where that we live in a world now where you have to be afraid to say that stuff. It's, to people who are allegedly progressive.
He goes on to highlight the hypocrisy of how these same women denounce the privileges of white men while turning a blind eye to their own. To him, this is a prime example of how privilege can conveniently be ignored when it suits the narrative. These movements, which once championed real social justice, have been distorted by personal agendas and self-righteousness.
But I think white women started it. It's the worst. The fucking worst. It's all they do is bitch, moan, and complain. I had no idea how difficult it was to be a white woman in the United States of America. Evidently, it's really difficult.
Next, the comedian sets his sights on the body positivity movement, another hot topic in today's culture. While he supports the idea of self-love and accepting one's body, he draws the line when that message shifts to glorifying unhealthy lifestyles. There's a difference, he argues, between loving yourself and celebrating complacency. He takes a jab at the idea that an actress shouldn't have to lose weight to play a role that requires her to look a certain way. If you're playing a hot woman and the industry is filled with people in shape, it's not crazy to ask you to be in shape too, he says. He's not pushing for unattainable beauty standards, but criticizing the notion that no effort should be expected at all.
Sort of separate themselves from these white males with their white male privilege. It's like, bitch, you're sitting in the jacuzzi with me. The fuck are you talking about? Yeah, quit your fucking whining. Look, right out of the gate, all right? If you live in some honey boo-boo lifestyle on the Appalachian Trail, you know, your uncle just banged you in the dirt, all right, I can listen to you.
He then sarcastically dismantles the idea that posing as a plus-size model on the cover of a magazine is an act of bravery. Bravery is running into a burning building to save a child, not squeezing into a swimsuit for a photo shoot, he states. His point is clear. While body positivity is important, it shouldn't come at the cost of health. We've moved from love yourself to who cares about health, just be proud of being unhealthy.
The idea that a girl shouldn't be asked to lose weight to look hot for a movie is fucking crazy, because that's what you're playing. You're playing a hot woman. That's part of the job.
And there's millions of everybody's in shit.
The comedian doesn't mince words when he suggests that while no one needs to be a supermodel, it wouldn't hurt to make small efforts toward a healthier lifestyle.
Beauty to try and live up to. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why she's on the cover of a magazine. She's that level beautiful. And you're going to try and sit there and tell me that that was learned.
I'm not saying you need to look like a movie star, but maybe put down the donuts and go for a walk once in a while, he jokes, delivering his point with his signature dry wit. In the end, he leaves us with a powerful takeaway. The cultural landscape today has become a minefield of contradictions and extremes. Movements that once aimed to create real progress and equality are now at risk of being diluted by personal grievances and misplaced outrage. Instead of fostering dialogue or pushing for genuine understanding, they've devolved into shouting matches and witch hunts. According to the comedian, this isn't about progress, it's about control and moral superiority. With his unapologetic humor and sharp insights, he urges us to rethink where we're heading. Rather than uniting people and promoting true justice, cancel culture and distorted movements are creating deeper divides. He isn't just making us laugh, he's making us question whether we're losing sight of what really matters. His bold critique serves as a much-needed reminder to step back, laugh at the absurdity, and focus on what genuinely brings about positive change in society.
You can be a dude, right? Ranked 80th in the fucking world. You have your dick cut off, you put on a sports bra, and now you're the #1 tennis player in the world, just coming out there with your man shoulders. That doesn't seem fair. I might be wrong.
Bill Burr doesn't shy away from controversy, especially when it comes to transgender athletes and fairness in sports. He points out what he sees as a glaring issue. You can be a guy ranked 80th in the world, get surgery, put on a sports bra, and suddenly you're the top tennis player. For Burr, this isn't about judging how people live their lives, it's about questioning the competitive edge that comes with physical differences, particularly in high-contact sports like MMA. He bluntly asks, "Am I crazy, or is that just a dude beating up a woman in the ring?" To him, it's less about being transphobic and more about preserving the integrity of competition.
Some of them are getting into that MMA. You can't have that shit. Am I nuts? That is a dickless dude beating the shit out of a woman. Jesus Christ. He might as well hit her with his discarded dick like a flashlight.
Burr's critique extends beyond the sports world and lands squarely in comedy. He's disillusioned by how sensitive comedians have become, lamenting, "When did we start walking on eggshells?" For him, comedy is supposed to challenge societal norms, push boundaries, and tackle uncomfortable truths. But now, with woke culture policing what can and can't be joked about, Burr believes the art form is being strangled. Censoring comedians, he argues, is like killing comedy itself.
That's a great fucking joke. There is zero fat on that. You need every word of that joke. You take one word out, it doesn't work. It's a perfect joke. So whatever, nobody gives a shit. One person comes in, they don't like it, they ask the manager to take it down. He's just like, hey, you know, that's our sense of humor here. You know, have a beer, go fuck yourself. That's what we're doing.
His frustration with hypocrisy doesn't stop there. Burr has no problem calling out figures like Bill Maher, accusing him of hiding behind the woke mob while pretending to be a voice of reason. Burr makes it clear he's not here to protect feelings. He's here to speak his mind and point out the contradictions he sees, even if that means ruffling feathers on both sides of the political aisle.
I understand, all right? I don't know why, though. Why? They're not a race. They're not a religion. It's totally curable. Eat an apple and go for a walk, you know? Why are you yelling at everybody else? The fuck are you giving me shit for? All right? You put the cookies in there. I didn't. How is this my problem?
At the heart of Burr's perspective is a concern that woke culture is shutting down meaningful conversations. In his view, the fear of offending others has led to a culture where no one is willing to speak honestly. Burr believes that free speech means having tough, uncomfortable discussions without the constant threat of cancellation. He sees woke culture as something that's not only stifling comedy, but also silencing essential debates.
Okay, it wasn't a cool thing to do, but it's been long enough, and welcome back to the
took $50 million from him. I think they punished him.
I'm the one who's actually brave on this.
Pat yourself on the back.
It's easy to say I'm for the kids. Who's not for the kids?
Well,
it comes down to real hard-nosed decision.
For Burr, it's not about being right every time. It's about ensuring that the conversation continues. In a world where people are increasingly afraid to express their true thoughts, he argues that voices like his are more necessary than ever. He's not trying to make friends or play it safe. He's here to speak the uncomfortable truths many people avoid.
You just had a difference of opinion. That you know, this isn't the first time you're going to say something and somebody's going to disagree with you. That doesn't mean that this guy can't come back. You know, and you obviously, because of some shit that's happened to you.
So what do you think? Has woke culture gone too far? Or does Burr have a point in pushing back? At the end of the day, maybe the real question is, how do we keep the conversation alive without sacrificing the freedom to express ourselves? If you enjoyed this video and want more unfiltered takes like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Join the conversation, stay informed, and never miss out on the latest content. Let's keep the dialogue going. Subscribe now.